All right, so the meeting is now called to order, and Mr. Samuels will offer prayer for us.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the principal and all other members of staff here, let us pray. Dear most righteous and eternal God, as we come before you once more, we come before you asking for your guidance, for your direction in all that we must pursue. Father, as we are here as a school, as a family, we ask that you will guide our steps aright and help us to understand and make clear to us the pathway forward in all we do. We thank you for the persons who are here, and we pray for those who may join us later on, Lord, that they will help to impart their knowledge, and with their wisdom as well, Lord, it will help us to go forward. These are the mercies we ask. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Mr. Samuels.
Yes, sir.
And let me officially welcome everyone to this meeting. You are very few in number, but I really appreciate the fact that you made the effort to be here. It's a very important meeting, and as such, we want to ensure that everybody benefits from the discussion. As I said before, we are recording the meeting, and we'll share the link later on YouTube. So for those parents or students who did not join us, we can refer them to the link if they need to find out what is it we would have discussed. I'm not going to be talking a whole lot, but I'll give you the opportunity to ask questions, to seek clarifications about the way forward. I think that for you, it's a very significant time in terms of grade 11 students and where they are and what's happening with the COVID. You are aware that the government has said that the start of school has been delayed until October 5. However, I'm also sure that you recognize that efforts are being made to get some things done while we await the start of school. So in grade 11 students in particular who have a very short school year because of exams at the end of the year, it is important that the time between now and October 5 is used wisely. And so I want to use the opportunity today to just have a discussion about what we are doing with the time, what we would like you to do, and how we can make best use of the 3 weeks or so that is left before October 5. Let me start by saying that although school starts officially on October 5, we are putting in place our online platform, our online classes, so that your teachers, you should be interacting with your teachers over the next 3 weeks, especially starting next Monday, if you have not already started to do so. So all your teachers would have created their Google Classrooms. The codes, we have sent out the codes via a link. I'm hoping that everybody has seen that link where you can actually click on the link and search for your class and your subjects and find out the codes that the teachers have for their classrooms. Then you can go ahead and download or join the Google Classrooms. I think that all of you should already be accustomed with the use of Google Classroom, because most teachers were using it between March and June of this year. If you are not yet familiar with it, then you need to get yourself familiar with how it is used. We're putting in place measures to ensure that if you're having challenges using it, you can get help. I did send out a video yesterday along with a note with some information. I hope that everyone got the information, read through it, and would have followed the instructions that were given. So starting Monday, we expect that there will be constant dialogue between teachers and students, especially you grade 11 students who you have to get ahead with what is it that you need to do in preparation for your exams. We are also looking at the possibility of having students come in periodically during the period from now to October 5 in small groups to meet with teachers, to collect work or to get assignments, or just to to interact with the teachers in terms of what is going to be expected of them. Because when we start, if we reopen on October 5, we don't want to be wasting time doing any preliminary work again. We want all of that to be done between now and October. We also know that there are concerns, both from the school's perspective. I know there are teachers who are concerned about meeting the students face to face. And I also know that there are parents and students who are concerned about getting their children in physical contact with anybody at this time. So there is a concern that we need to address. The government will determine whether or not school reopens physically. But from what we have been hearing so far, all the indications is that we should expect some level of face-to-face classes. So if you watched the news last night, you would have heard the chief education officer actually saying that there are some schools that have started or asked permission to start face-to-face with some students. And so I think that they are inclined to have the face-to-face activities, notwithstanding the number of positive cases that is around. I think what they are more focusing on is getting persons to understand their responsibility in terms of protecting themselves. So basically that is where we are as a school. We want to, as I said, ensure that all the students are in contact with their teachers. We want the students to get on board in the online classes. We want the students to get on board with the online classes. And of course, we want to see if the possibility exists for students to come in small groups. I'm going to be sending out something in the group later, but let me just share with you what is it we are thinking in terms of physical meeting with teachers. So all the grade 11 classes are divided in 3 pools: Pool A, Pool B, and Pool C. So for the 3 weeks, what we are looking at is having the students come in once or at most twice for the week to meet with their teachers if the teachers are available, or to just make, if, for example, they're having challenges with Wi-Fi or so on, to come on board where they can use the computers or the internet to make sure. Some persons keep unmuting themselves. Right, so I'm going to be sending out a schedule as to when students from the different pools are welcome to come on campus and to meet their teachers if the teachers would like to meet with them, or if they would like to meet with the teachers, they can come in on those days. So for example, next week, Pool A could come in on Tuesday and Wednesday. Pool B could come in on Monday. Pool C could come in on Thursday and Friday. All right, and then the following week, sorry, let me go over that again. Next week, Pool A can come in on Monday and Thursday. Pool B could come in on Tuesday and Friday, and Pool C on Wednesday. And then the following week would have Pool A Tuesday and Wednesday, Pool B Monday, Pool C Thursday and Friday. And on the third week, Pool A would come in only on the Friday, Pool B comes in on Wednesday and Thursday, and Pool C comes in Monday and Tuesday. So by the end of the 3 weeks, all the different classes would have come in for 5 days. They would have met with their teachers in some cases, would have made sure that they are online. Tanisha Rogers unmuting. Right, so each class would come in for 5 days over the next 3 weeks. And for the practical areas especially, the teachers would be able to set you on task in terms of what you need to do. For SBAs and so on, they would probably provide the guidelines and so on. So those are the days I'm going to share with the teachers, and then they will make contact with you to say if you are to come in on those days. As it relates to the issue of exposure, I'm going to suggest that students, of course, who have particular illnesses that put them at higher risk, they should indicate, and they should not come unless they absolutely feel comfortable doing so. Or if they live with parents or others who are ill or maybe at risk, I am suggesting that you probably should not leave your homes. Maybe parents will have to start thinking of asking the child to board with somebody else if they are going to be coming in and out of the house and putting them at risk. So all of these things we have to start thinking of. I don't know what your thoughts are on those suggestions. So I'll open up the floor now to ask for your feedback. So anybody wants to say anything on what I've said? Elizabeth Dyer.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wellington.
Good afternoon.
How would the students that are sick get the information that would have been given at school on those particular days?
All right, so that is where the online classes come in. So where students are not at school, we're asking teachers for everything that is done, whether it's going to be face-to-face or online, all the material should be posted in the online classes. All right, so if they can't come to school, they have to find a way to access the online platform.
Okay, sir.
All right. Any other questions? Remembering as well that because of what we're doing, we expect that everybody now will have access to either a smartphone, a tablet, or a laptop. There are some students, the government has provided funding for laptops for some students on path, not all students. So some students on path will be given a laptop, but right now there's a shortage of laptops across the world, and we're having difficulty. All schools in Jamaica are supposed to get the laptops of some of their students and teachers. There's a shortage, and therefore, as it stands now, I think that it may be as late as November, December, before those laptops or tablets are delivered to those persons. So in the meantime, we'll have to find other ways to use the devices that you have. Any questions, comments? I'm sure there's a lot of questions you want to ask. We have some teachers in the group with us as well. Mr. Samuels is here. I think I see, where did I see? I know I saw a few other teachers. Any questions? If there are no questions, the meeting is going to end going to end very quickly. So unless you have heard everything you want to hear, you should have some questions. Mrs. Tyndale? Mrs. Tyndale, you wanted to say something?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Just to let the science students, the bio students, my Pool B and C students know, I will be coming in on one of those days. So you will be coming in on a few of those days because we have labs that we need to do that were not done in grade 10. So we will be coming in to try to get them out of the way before the official start of school. So bear that in mind, students.
Thanks. And Miss Tyndale will share in our WhatsApp group, right, Miss Tyndale? You'll share the days.
I will share on the Google Classroom. Presently, I have not established a WhatsApp group with the grade 11.
Okay, good.
Right.
All right, so and parents, what we're trying to do, each pool is about 100 students. So there would only be about 100 students on the entire campus on those days. So it wouldn't be crowded. What we'll do is just try to encourage them to practice the proper etiquettes in terms of the hand washing, the mask, the sanitization, and so on, just to keep them safe. And I can tell you, if you are concerned, teachers are just as concerned. There are teachers who have comorbidities, meaning they are at risk as well. So we have to do everything to protect each other. But we also understand that at the end of the day, we don't want these students to fall too far behind because they are not ever going to be able to make up for the last time. All right? All right, somebody asked about uniforms. No, we wouldn't, they don't have to, they can wear their uniforms, but we wouldn't expect them to wear their uniforms for the first 2 weeks. The third week though, for that third week, that's a week before school open, anybody who is coming in will want them to have on their uniforms. Right? But for the first 2 weeks, they can come properly attired, no slippers and shorts and bangarangs and so on, but they wouldn't have to wear the uniform for the first 2 weeks. All right. Any other questions or comments? Somebody asked about tablets. Who choose which students would be getting? The tablets, the ministry, it's students who are on path, but it is not sorry, it is not all the part students, it is some of the part students. So the guidance department and the form teachers would have to decide which ones they would have observed would be the most needy. So we have some BOSI students, one part who don't want the lunch ticket at daytime. Obviously, it means that they are not needy. Or if they already have a tablet or a laptop, then we wouldn't be giving them one as well. Right, so all the BOSI one, then we are following their friend and they want to take the lunch ticket at daytime and want tablet now, them now go get it. All right. Which subjects, will subjects be covered for the first 2 weeks? Will all subjects? Yes, all subjects will be covered for the first 2 weeks. Yes. Next question: wouldn't it be easier if online classes were via Zoom? No, it would not be easier. But for Google Classroom, it has the same capabilities like Zoom. So you can have your Google meetings where you have the interactions just like you're having it now. So some teachers will have the video conferencing meeting in Google Classroom as well. And there's also a whiteboard. There's also a board in Google that the teachers can put their work on where you can actually see and follow them, right? So it is better than Zoom. Question?
So part in
please remember to keep your phone muted unless you are talking. So let me mute you again. All right, so there's a question. Should, sir, let me say, when students are doing online classes, should they be in uniform? Because most of the schools are asking students to be in uniform. All right, so we have not made a final decision on it, but for the first 2 weeks, no. Right now, no, right? But when we get to October, depending on what is happening, you may be required to be in uniform at that time. But let me tell you, there are some protocols that we expect students to follow. So you can't be at home in your bed, lying down in your marina or your tank blouse and be in online classes. Right? That definitely is not going to be acceptable. The way you speak to your teacher and your colleagues in your classes will have to be formal because it will be a formal setting. But we'll share the protocols with you as well. Somebody's asking me to repeat the days. Please remember to mute your phones. Again, part of the protocol is similarly when you're in class, you don't talk while someone else is talking. Similarly, online, you can't have your phone unmuted when somebody else is talking because it disturbs everybody else. I will repeat the days later. What are measures are in place for students doing technical drawing? I'm not sure exactly what we're talking about in terms of measures, but again, they will be meeting their teachers and we will have AutoCAD classes for them. Of course, the practical areas are the ones that we must find a way for the students to meet face to face, because if they don't, then it means that they probably can't cover most of the syllabus. All right. Any other questions? Those were questions that came up from the Zoom. Any other question? Any other questions or comments? I'm sure there's more that you need to find out.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wellington.
Just 1 second, Ms. Graham. Somebody says that the person still isn't in the WhatsApp group. We're updating the WhatsApp group. So by weekend, I got some numbers via WhatsApp already to put in the group, so we'll upload those. The timetables, we're going to post the timetables today as well in the group, so everybody will know their timetables. Remember, there's a number for you to send if you're not in a WhatsApp group, there's a number for you to send your number so that we can put you in, right? All the practical areas, we are hoping that you'll meet face-to-face for those classes. So the auto mech and welding, yes, you'll have the classes face-to-face. You'll have to have them face-to-face. The MECTEC exams, somebody again needs to mute. Let me just mute everybody again. All right, there are some exams that had to be rescheduled, some NCTVET and City and Guild exams because of COVID. They should have been done end of August, but they were postponed. As soon as you get back to school, you will get the new dates. All right. Yes, Miss Graham. Yes, Miss Graham, go ahead. Somebody wanted to say something, or they changed it? Somebody's asking, is paying for CXC become due in October as usual? Very likely, we have gotten the deadlines for January payments already. So it is, I think that we may get the deadlines for the June payments by the end of this month. So please plan to pay for your exams at the end of October as usual. Any other questions? Any other questions? All right, let me just repeat again. What time will parents pay for CXC exams? Usually end of October. So not before the end of October. So we are suggesting, as I said, I'm going to send out the information in a WhatsApp message. So just for those who want to make a note of it, we're inviting students from the different pools to come in on different days each week. Let me just repeat slowly and you can make note. For pool A, next week is Monday and Thursday. For Monday and Thursday, and we'll invite your teachers to be in on those days. For pool B, Tuesday and Friday. For pool C, Thursday and Friday of next week. So again, pool A, Monday and Thursday. Pool B, Tuesday and Friday, and pool C, Wednesday, sorry. So next week, week 1, Monday and Thursday for pool A, pool B, Tuesday and Friday, pool C, Wednesday. For the second week,
No, sir.
Galaxy S8. For the second week, pool A, Tuesday and Wednesday, pool B on Monday, pool C, Thursday and Friday. All right, I'll leave the third week for the time being because by then everybody will know. Online weekend classes, doubt it. I doubt that we'll have online weekend classes. If PART will assist TXC payments for students, yes, I think they will still continue to do that. Can I collect my lab code I paid for in my school fee? Yes. All right, so if you paid for your lab codes, when you come, you can collect it. There will be no weekend classes unless teachers volunteer to do so. And PART will continue to help, and the government will continue to help to pay for exams as far as I know. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions or observations, comments? Nice that we have gotten so much done in half an hour. So we have had a really tight meeting. Any other questions, comments? Yes, Shanique?
For the persons who already do a CXC subject this year, do we have to take up another subject?
No, you don't have to take up another subject. You have to continue the 8 subjects that you chose in grade 10. You have to continue those until March, or else you won't be allowed to graduate. So even if you've done one of them already and passed them, you still have to go to the classes and get the internal grades so that you can qualify for graduation and you can get a complete transcript. Peer question, when should we bring in our payment vouchers? Those should have already have been brought in, so you can take them in at any time. Would it be best for us to wear our school t-shirt? Yes, that would be nice. All right, so you can wear jeans and school shirt or house shirt when they are coming to classes. Good afternoon, Mrs. Foster, welcome. Mrs. Foster is the grade coordinator, along with Mrs. Wellington and Mr. Morrison. I'm not sure how many of them are here. Mrs. Foster is here, I think Mrs. Wellington is here. Just to say as well, as I mentioned, Mrs. Wellington, are you on? All right, question, how does PATH choose
Yes,
students?
I am.
Okay, I'll just let you say something about work experience shortly. How does PATH choose students to help with payments on their CXC? I think that once you're on PATH, you get paid, all your subjects are paid for. I think once you have a 45 or more average on the subject. I don't know if Mrs. Holness is here. If Mrs. Holness or Miss Atkinson is here, but they will confirm. But I think all the subjects are paid for if you're on PATH. Once you have an average of over 45. Mrs. Welton, can you just say a few words, particularly on work experience?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. As you might have been aware that in the grade 11 year, the students are asked to complete 2 weeks of work experience or at least 80 hours in their practical area. However, based on what is happening this year, we will not have the work experience program because I'm sure that, well, right now we don't know what will happen, and I'm sure now we wouldn't feel safe to send out our students, neither will any workstation be willing to accept them. So for this year, we will not be having a work experience program. I don't know what might be put in place for the work experience program. We have to meet as a work experience committee. So we should have a meeting by now and next week. And I should be better able to update you as to what we will do in order to allow the students to have something for work experience as a grade. But for now, we won't be having the exercise, and I will update you.
Right, I think,
the community service, some students I know had done theirs, but most students have not completed such. And the same thing will apply. It would be hard for them to complete it because the workstation will not allow them to come. Neither will we feel comfortable with them going out at this time. So as I said, we will meet and I will update you as to what will happen with these programs.
Just to say that if we're having face-to-face classes, then we'll try and find ways to help the students in their practical areas accumulate some of that 80 hours if we're having face-to-face classes throughout the school year. A few other questions: when will textbooks be distributed? Well, the grade 11 students already have their textbooks from grade 10. So it's the same textbooks that you have from grade 10 you carry on into grade 11. And on that note, it means that all of you should have been reading ahead in your various subject areas because you already had the textbooks, right? Evening school, we're not sure yet what will be happening with evening school. Pool C, next week you come in on Wednesday. All right, so Pool C will come in just 1 day next week and then 2 days for each of the following 2 weeks. Let me see, right, so no other question. Mrs. Foster, would you like to speak with your babies?
Yes, just a little. Good afternoon, everyone. Guys, I really missed you and I missed having you back at school in September. But you know, this is what has happened and we have to just cope with the time. Please be assured that Mrs. Wellington, your other mother, and Mr. Morrison, your dad, that we are available to you should you need to talk. I know that you love to talk and I know that some of you are at home and you are going crazy being at home for so long and not seeing us and not having to interact with us. But rest assured that, you know, you have our numbers. You're in the groups, you have our numbers. If you ever need to talk, because I know that some of you are mentally stressed, you have indicated, some of you have indicated such to me. And if you need to talk and if you need to, you know, just express yourselves and see how you're feeling and so on, always remember that we are here for you. We are here to lend a listening ear to the issues that you're having. We're here for your emotional problems. We're not really trained as such to help you, but because of life's experiences, we'll be able to help you. So we know that it is mentally distressing on most of you, and you're going through those fears and so on. But rest assured that we're here to take you through. So sorry that this happened in your grade 11 year. We're really looking forward to send you out with a bang. But nevertheless, that will happen, you know, in spirits, and regardless of how we are going to get through, we are going to get through. So just remember, our numbers, we're just a telephone call away or a text away. Don't be afraid to share with us so that we can help you to cope through these very difficult and challenging times. And make the best of it, regardless, make the best of it. It's a once in a lifetime event. I would encourage you, grade 11 students, to do journal writing, document what has been happening during the COVID period, and those expressions will help you to build your own communication skills. And in addition to that, you'll be also documenting for your future spouses and your grandchildren what happened when this happened, how you coped. And as I said, this pandemic is a once in a lifetime event. So document it, write it down, and you will have that little piece of artifact later on to share with your lovely grandchildren when you reach that point in time, and your children when you reach that point in time. So see it for what it is. Don't be labeled on the negative. Try to see the positive in everything, and try to, above all, trust God, rely on Him, stay safe, adhere to the protocols, and turn on a yard except when you have to come to school.
Well said,
Okay,
Mrs.
baby.
Foster. Well said, Mrs. Foster. And I want to endorse that too. Part of the reason why we want to have you come in before October 5 is not just to do the work or get the work done, but we also want that when October 5 comes, if school reopens, everybody's going to be here. But we want to have the opportunity now where we are able to sit with you and talk with you one-on-one, just get you back in the frame of mind for school, and to get you, if there are issues that you have and we can help you to resolve it, then we can do it over the next 3 weeks so that when October 5 comes, if we are going to come back to school, you can hit the ground running and not have all of these minor issues or sometimes major issues to be resolved. So as Mrs. Foster said, even if you're not in the mood for classes, no, I am asking you, just come out and sit down, let us talk, let us discuss where we are now, what are the things that needs to be done, so that you can gradually get back into the frame of mind. Because trust me, if we come back to school, or whether or not we come back to school, there's a whole lot that you will need to catch up on. So so yes, please, it's an invitation for us to bond and for us to get back into the groove of things and to help you to be prepared, because you are the ones of all the students between primary and high school, you are the ones that has been affected the most, because all of this is happening in your grade 10 and grade 11th year. And don't make anybody fool you. You can never make up for lost time. And when this is finished at the end of grade 11, the persons who are in grade 10, right? If you get this matter resolved and they get to do their exams and they get in the market, you will have to be competing with them for university space, for work, for whatever it is, right? And they would have gotten more time to recover. So we really want to make sure that you don't lose more time than you need to lose. Let me just answer a few questions, and then Tanisha, who has her hand up, can speak. So first of all, the financial assistance for exams, we expect that they will be the same. So the government will pay for maths, English, IT, and a science subject. I don't know if NCB will continue to pay for the 2 business subjects, POB and accounts. And we usually get help for those who do electrical from JPS. PATH pays for those students who are on PATH. And of course, if you have issues just generally finding the money, then we don't have monies put down for that, but we try and find help for people who we know would have found it difficult, right? Next week, when we start school, we'll do the regular hours, so 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Let me see. Somebody says they don't have their textbooks. I don't know why they don't have it. But if you didn't collect it, you probably should try and get to collect them now. All right, Tanisha, whose hand was up, can you go ahead? Or team it is. The team's hand is up. You can go ahead.
So those who aren't on path, are they getting tablets as well?
No. Those who are not on path, there will be no, well, we are trying to do a project to help some needy students, but not everybody is being given a tablet or a laptop. So the government is giving some, not even everybody on path, some students on path, right? And then from a school perspective, we are looking to see if we can get help to help some students who are not on path, but we know that they are always needy. And we would have known you for the last 4 years, so we would know that you are needy. So some persons, we know that some persons will turn up now and say that they are needy, but we look at what has been happening with you over the last 4 years to determine who are the ones who we can help. All right?
Okay. I see your point.
Okay, you see and you heard my point.
Yes, yes, yes,
okay.
Indeed.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Any other questions, comments? I get the feeling that many of you will be trying to make it out next week, and I hope that you do. Also, I want you to help us to get in touch with your classmates. Try and I'm going to send out the link again to this YouTube video so the parents can listen for themselves to hear what was discussed. But you can also call your friends and tell them what we are planning, so that they can be involved. What about here, sir? You should be groomed for school. So the school rules apply, especially for the 3rd week. So for the first 2 weeks, modesty, modesty. Even if you're not in conformance with the school rules, modesty, right? We will not be going on shift. So we will not be going on shift, right? In October, if school reopens face-to-face, school will be all day, 5 days per week for everybody. We will have pull-out for the lower school. The lower school students will do pull-out, so they will not all be in classes every day, but the grades 10 and 11 will go to their classes, to their regular classes, as per the regular timetable. So they won't have any free days or free times. All right, the number to send the information for your WhatsApp, if you want to be included in the WhatsApp group, I'm posting it in the chat now. So if you are not in the WhatsApp group and you want to be added to your group, to your year group, 886-4036, just send a WhatsApp message to that number with the number that is to be added and your name and class. Right? That number doesn't take calls. If you call it, nobody will answer. All right, but you can send a WhatsApp message to it, right? 886-4036. Should you bring your books for regular classes? Yes, on the days. So as I said, I'm going to post the timetables in the groups today. Mrs. Wellington and Mr. Morrison will post your timetables. So Pool A, Pool B, and C timetables will be posted shortly, along with the days that you will be expected to attend school. All right. With canteen and tuck shop, yes, I think we'll be open on those days. All right. We are going to operate like we did for the grade 11s in June when they came back for their final preparation for exams. So it's going to be a similar operation, except in the classes, the timetables will be your regular timetables. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions or comments?
Yes, sir.
Just go ahead.
May I speak? The last Zoom meeting we had, I spoke to you about my daughter I paid $17,000 for her school fee. What I did this year was I gave her the money and the voucher, but I'm not sure if it was resolved properly, because what she came back with was just the receipt stating that she paid $5,700. I asked her, what is it that the person who collected the money? Because I told her to go to the office.
So miss, I'm sure you don't want to have to discuss your personal issues here. So let me take this number, 966.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
966.
Yes, sir.
2140.
2140.
Right. As soon as you're out of this meeting, just call the number. Just call the number and speak with Miss Osborne.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right, Miss Osborne, right, and she'll tell you what's the position. All right. Elizabeth, you have your hand up again, or it's the same hand?
I just spoke, sir.
Oh, sorry. All right. Anybody else? Any questions, comments?
Sir Wellington, I see in the group Martin Mills here where students are asking about the hairstyles.
Yes. Well, you want me to answer?
Yes, sir.
Oh, all right. So for the first 2 weeks, as I said, you can come to school casually attired, but modestly. So modestly and appropriately. A student suggested house shirt or school shirt. Yes, that would be a good idea, with jeans and no extravagant hairstyle for both males or females, and the earrings that are not required. You can't actually take out the earrings, right? So what we are exempting you from is the uniform. For the hairstyle, we know that there's a standard for the hairstyle. We will be a little bit relaxed with it, but we expect it to be modest. So we don't expect the boys to come with their hairs flat, flatted up, right? The braids, will take the braids for the time being, just for the first 2 weeks. By the third week, then you should be in school mode. So you should be as if you were going to school, uniform and all right? Yes, so braids can be worn for the first two weeks. Mr. Dar, call about all right. Yes, we have school shirts available and house shirts available to purchase. Updated report that some students will receive as a result of the absence of biology. I think they are ready, so you can just speak with Mr. Kogel when you come in. Mr. Kogel is not on. Is Mr. Kogel on? Oh, Mr. Kogel is not on. All right, but those grades have been included now, so you can just check with Mr. Kogel for the replacement report. Janelle.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. What if you don't have your school shirt? What other shirt can you wear?
You can wear school or house shirt. You can buy one, or you can wear ordinary shirt. Just make sure that it is something that is decent, as if you were going to work and not to a party.
Okay, sir. Thanks.
All right, John.
Your
John Brown.
Skirt or your house blouse. That's what.
Yes. So no short, you know.
So you go to school Monday and Thursday next week.
So your son doesn't have a school shirt? John, you're saying your son doesn't have a school shirt?
You have to go home. Go start.
No, sir.
Go start. See what you can find.
All right, hold on. Let me just mute somebody else who is talking. Yeah, John.
Me. House.
I'm not hearing you. Your line is bad. The line is bad. Mrs. Wellington, or Mrs. Foster, or Mr. Morrison, somebody wants to get in touch with Mr. German, the physics teacher. I don't know if there's a number you can post for Mr. German. Person without school ID Everybody should have gotten a school ID. You can get a replacement at the computer lab for $500. So if you lost yours or it was destroyed, you can get a replacement.
So them doing that now?
Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown.
My son lost.
Can you type in the chat, sir, because we're not hearing you. Mr. Brown, we're not hearing you. So can
I don't really know how to spell it now.
What's the question? Mr. Brown.
My son lost his ID.
Yes. So I'm saying that if you lost your ID,
how can he get that replaced?
Yes, he can get it replaced. It's $500 to replace it. All right, so he just needs to go to Mr. Reed at the computer lab. All right.
$5,000?
$500. 500.
What in Jesus' name? 5,000.
So you're not hearing well either. I said $500.
Yeah, I hear this.
Sir? All right.
Babe. How far you got?
$500, sir.
How far?
Can't afford it, I have the money.
All right. So moving along. Questions? Let me see if there's any questions. School masks. We have school masks on sale. $300 for the blue and yellow with the crest as the outline. $500 for the blue or yellow with the colored crest. And you don't have to buy a school mask. You can wear your own mask, but it has to be a solid color. So no pretty or no designer mask. Solid colors, black, blue, brown, yellow, white. All right. All right. All right, so the questions about numbers, please post those in the group, in your WhatsApp groups, so the teachers can see the persons who are trying to get in touch with them. Haven't heard from Mr. Smith, Social Studies. All of them will have their Google Classrooms active, so you can get in touch with them through the Google Classrooms. All right, any other questions or comments? We have about 5 minutes left. All right, so for next week, just reminding you, for next week, Pool A will come in on Monday and Thursday from 8 to 2. Karen, I'm coming to you. Pool B will come in on Tuesday and Friday, and Pool C will come in on Wednesday. If someone cannot be at school, just inform your grade coordinator. All right, Karen, go ahead. Karen Graham, your hand is up. We unmute you. Karen, you don't want to speak? All right, so Karen doesn't want to speak, although her hand is up. Evan Murray, and then Rizio 3.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. That's Karen now.
Okay, good afternoon. Yes, when this kids start the SBA within the 2 weeks?
Yes.
Did they get in their topics?
Yes. If they haven't gotten the topics already, the teachers would be sharing the topics and probably outlines with them.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Evan Murray. Evan, the person who's talking, you're actually unmuted already.
Yes, sir.
Yes, go
ahead. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we are
hearing
you.
Yes, good evening. I would like to know about the children that was on summer class. Are they going to get their ID, their books, and all
what
of
are we
that?
talking about? We're talking about grade 7? You're talking about
so
grade...
that's the way you answer, Mr.
No, I'm asking if you're talking about grade 7.
Okay, yes, sir.
All right, so the grade 7, we'll have a meeting for grade 7. So this is supposed to be grade 11 meetings for grade 11. For the grade 7s, will get their stuff when they come in October, but we're going to have a meeting for grade 7 parents next week.
Okay, then, sir, thanks.
All right. Remember, for the grade 11s coming in next for the grade 11s coming in next week, it's regular school time from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock. All right, who else has their hand up? Everybody who had their hand up has spoken. Any other questions? All right, there being no other questions, I think we can wrap up this meeting. So if they can take the ID picture next week, yes. You can take the ID photographs next week if you're doing a replacement. All right. And remember, if your report, if there was an error on your report, you can check with Mr. Kogel when you come for the replacement. All right. All right, I think that's it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to seeing the grade 11s come out next week, even if I'm the only one here, but we will have things to discuss. Surgical mask is allowed. Yes, you can wear the surgical mask, but remember they can only be worn once. All right, but the surgical masks are allowed. And please remember, you cannot enter the campus without a mask. All right. Thank you very much. Have a good day, everyone. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you.